So far, we have covered the data in these areas of description. ISBD assigns punctuation to these areas. This is a rundown of all of that punctuation for the areas we've covered so far. I have abbreviated the phrase multi-part monographic resource to simply SET to save space on the slide. In current online displays, this is generally how this information shows up. Each area is given its own line. And here it is in a modern online display form. Here they are in the same order, but instead separated by a period, a space, a dash, usually applied as a double hyphen, and another space. This is how it was printed on the catalog card until we started using the MARC framework. Without each area on its own line, it saved some space. Space was hard to come by on a 3 by 5 inch card. But back to a more modern arrangement. There are some commonalities. For example, if you are separating title information from responsibility information, the separator is a / surrounded by spaces. If you are separating a title proper from other title information, the separator is a : surrounded by spaces. When listing multiple names responsible for different things, each name is separated by a semicolon surrounded by spaces. If we apply that to a resource, it looks like this. I use myself as an example of a resource. The title, Michelle Hahn, has the other title information of Z504 Professor, which is preceded by a space : space. Then we see the statement of responsibility, which includes my parents, preceded by the space / space, and the institution which gave me the MLS degree, preceded by a space / space. The addition statement includes similar punctuation for similar purposes. That is followed by the publication statement and its punctuation, with a space : space preceding the publisher's name, and a comma preceding the year of publication, which is included in brackets. And finally, the series statement with the title of the series in brackets, because I devised it from a different source of information. Beyond the elements we've already included in our descriptions, the punctuation would look like this if strictly added to most of the elements in the transcribed and recorded parts of a bibliographic record. Some of these elements you will see as you look through records, some of them you will use in our exercises, some of them we will get to later in the semester. And then applied to descriptive data. Card catalogs and other printed catalogs rely on punctuation for consistent application of information data to describe resources, and consistent interpretation of that information. The punctuation serves as a grammatical purpose for human library users, helping them to understand where information begins and ends, connect data points, and make sense of what they read. There are also online library catalogs that rely on punctuation to know how to display data. Web accessibility relies on screen readers being able to imply meaning based on certain punctuation, such as pausing at commas and periods, and being able to voice other punctuation, such as saying / out loud. Punctuation for blind and low vision library users does the same work to infer grammatical conventions and meaning that it does for sighted users. And there are libraries throughout the world that do not have the privilege of access to the internet and do not have online library catalogs. So the need for punctuation for printing purposes continues to be necessary.